The British government is still recovering from yesterday's ruling in a Scottish court that suspension of Parliament is unlawful. The decision has put Prime Minister Boris Johnson under pressure to recall MPs. The case has been referred to the UK Supreme Court, where it will be heard on Tuesday. Euronews journalist Victoria Smith joins me now for more on this. How serious is it, Victoria, not only just for the Prime Minister, but also the British Constitution? Well, very serious all round, Rosie. You see, Boris Johnson's now been told by 3 Scottish judges that what he's done may well or is unlawful. That means he may have put the Queen into a difficult position as well if he's been found to have given her unlawful advice. Now, the Queen always follows her Prime Minister's advice. She assumes it's correct. So this does raise questions now about the Constitution and how it works. Also, Rosie, I should mention the judges were unanimous that Boris Johnson was motivated by what they say were the improper purpose of stymieing Parliament. What that means is that he used the suspension of Parliament for the wrong reasons, and that implies that he could well have misled the Queen. Now, Stephen Pears is a professor of law at Essex University. This is what he thinks.
The implication of what the Scottish court said is that the government didn't give it genuine reasons in court for suspending Parliament. It pretended it was just a technical thing, whereas its real reason was about its Brexit policy. So it's possible that they also misled the Queen. We don't know exactly what they said to the Queen, but it's possible that, yes, the Queen was personally misled by the government.
So, Victoria, then, quite loud calls for Parliament to reconvene, but it's already suspended. Is it likely to come back? Well, there's a lot of pressure from the opposition parties for Parliament to reconvene. I think we had one MP turn up jokingly yesterday saying, where is everybody for Prime Minister's questions? But seriously, there is a call for Parliament to reconvene. But that's certainly unlikely to happen before Tuesday, when this whole case gets referred to what is the highest court in the land, the UK Supreme Court. That's going to have a look at things and make a final ruling on this. However, as you say, politicians are piling on the pressure for Boris Johnson to recall the House, one of them being the Scottish Prime Minister, Nicola Sturgeon.
This ruling today has enormous constitutional significance. That said, on one level, the political implications that flow from it should be straightforward. We have a court saying that the prorogation of Parliament is unlawful, null and void, and therefore it seems to me incumbent on the Prime Minister to end that illegality by immediately recalling Parliament. That is the right thing to do as a matter of principle. But of course, there is a real practical imperative to have Parliament sitting right now. This is a government that really needs to be scrutinised and held to account.
And Victoria, just talk us through the timeline, because this ruling isn't the first court ruling on this issue.
No, it's not. The High Court in London last week gave a different ruling. They said that the advice given by the Prime Minister to the Queen to suspend Parliament is basically a political matter, not a legal matter. So that will come up again when this case goes to the Supreme Court on Tuesday, because that contradicts the Scottish court ruling from yesterday. So we'll know by Tuesday, Rosie, what the definitive ruling is on whether the Prime Minister acted unlawfully or not, and then whether Parliament should be reconvened.